Hey, how's it going, guys? It's me, that purple hedgehog with no mouth again. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm using a different TTS voice. This is because I'm currently editing in my PC and the CapCut installed doesn't have the TTS voice I wanted. So I chose this TTS voice instead because I like the sound of it. Following the trend in my videos of me changing my PNG models, I've decided to create a new one once again because I can't be satisfied. I wonder if I'll ever make one that stick longer than just one video. It might happen eventually. I can't keep this up forever. Now on to the main topic of this video. I've been sharing my Sonicpasta characters and tidbits about them. A lot of these guys are existing canon characters with different personalities or just dead humans having them as vessels. When it comes to the monsters or antagonists for that matter, majority have Sonic as their vessel, inspired or even straight up replace Sonic with themselves as the main focus in their universe. Other times it's not Sonic, but characters like Knuckles or Tails gets that monster and antagonist role in my Sonicpasta stories. You might be thinking, why don't I just make an actual original character instead for a change? Well, first and foremost, most Sonicpasta and EXE characters are considered OC if you think about it. Ones that are dead spirits, eldritch gods, or even sentient AI companion aren't really the vessel or the character they chose. Most common and funny trope for these guys tend to be evil. Entities chooses Sonic to be their appearance because they like him or just enjoy his design quite a lot. Though there are ones that chose his look to trick people into thinking they're the real deal. In other words, they're not the characters they have their looks based of, they're their own characters, hence they're in some way an OC. But wait, what about Sonicpasta characters that doesn't have their looks based off the existing characters? Do you have one? In a way, I actually do have one, or at least a few of them. Now I haven't really show or post any of them online, but one of them did made an appearance for a short while in one of my videos. If you had seen my first video, being the channel intro, you guys may know which one I'm talking about. And for those that don't know, I am referring to this guy. He showed up briefly along with the others, however he hasn't shown up in any of my social medias at all after that. To tell you the truth, he doesn't have much origin or lore to share, and I have been too busy with my other Sonicpasta OCs, and because of my other characters, I barely had the time to focus on the rest of my characters like the guy that I showed. But that's alright, because in this video I'll be rambling about him as I showcase an art time-lapse I did of his new redesign. With that said, let's get into the next section of this video. Now, to start things off, is talking about his name. When it comes to me naming my Sonicpasta OCs, it'll be the most average name ever, or a random word I find in the internet. In this case, it's the first one, an average name. This guy here is named Richard, just because I find it oddly fitting. But to add more flavor to it, I'll just be calling him Richard the Manic, because Richard here is an overly manic man who can't seem to be feeling any other emotions than just intense happiness. In the lore, it's unknown as to why he won't feel any negative emotions. It's implied that he injected himself with a drug for that effect only. I've changed his face quite a lot, removing his fuzzy cheeks, changing his pupils to this swirly pattern, and his fur color changed slightly too. I also decided to make his eyelids stapled into his face, to give him this big, unblinking eyes just staring right at you. Because of the eyes being unable to blink, they turn slightly red in color. This makes him blind. That doesn't mean he can't find his victims. As you can see, he's an echidna. No, just because he's an echidna, that doesn't mean he's Knuckles or related to him. I made the gold claws on his knuckles into gold claws on his fingers. I made that change because I liked how it looked. Though because he's an echidna Mobian, the claws should still be on his knuckles instead of his fingertips, but there's a reason. The claws on Richard's knuckles was removed by someone who's malicious and does this as a form of punishment for what Richard did. And what Richard did was an attempt at escaping from said bad individual's clutches. In a short note, he's a prisoner to this person. That is a part of his origin lore. I still haven't think of a proper storyline for it. Hence, why I can't explain his lore any more than that. With so many projects to work on, his story will take a long while to write properly. That part of his origin might change in the future. But worrying not, his story along with the rest of my characters will have proper finished lore given the time I'll work on them. Richard has been on my mind for a long time now, so I may work on him a bit more than the others. I just love him a lot. The only thing you guys need to know is that he was captured and forced to perform dangerous acts for some sort of Mobian freak show. In the meantime, enjoy the speed draw. This is my first time doing an art time-lapse on Clip Studio Paint. Previously, it was Ibis Paint.EXE. Looking back at his old design, I still think it was better than this new one here. I will have to readjust his design again later. Although, there are a lot of things I like in the new design I did for him. Maybe I'll have to pick out the things I like from his old and new looks. Like the eyes in the new design, for example. I think it's really cool. The fake claws made out of gold as well. That one is cool too. But for now, I'm feeling alright with how he looks currently. In this art time-lapse, this one matches up with his current lore more. Right after finishing up his current simple reference sheet, I decided to do a quick illustration of his new design. I found a lot of free blood brush assets in the Clip Studio asset store. It turned out really great. I may use this art program more often. I still use Ibis Paint.EXE, but mostly when I feel like it. That is still my favorite app to use for drawing. I even made brushes for it too. The custom brushes I made weren't that amazing, but I made them just for me specifically to draw in a way I wanted to. Now that I have Clip Studio Paint, I might even try making custom brushes for this one to specifically for my comfort to draw with. Making this illustration makes me feel better about his new design, because I wasn't too sure about it at first. Like I said before about this, I thought of adding some parts from the old design into the new design, just so it would look even better. But at the same time I don't want to overdone the details on his design, because I thought of animating him at some point. Perhaps I could try playing with his color palette next time. I think I need to learn doing thumbnails for the colors next time. That's okay, I'm still learning. Drawing gore can be tricky at points. Right here I attempt to make him holding a heart he probably just tore off from someone's chest. I had to look up in the internet to find references in order to draw the heart organ. It might be inaccurate, but I tried my best. There's definitely anatomy issues going on in this artwork, but it's not that bothersome. I think it looks pretty alright. I really like the shading I did in this one. It's not impressive, but I think it sorta looks really good in my opinion. It's probably because I don't shade my drawings a lot, however. I really should do it more often because it makes my art less bland. I have yet to try drawing fully illustrated backgrounds for my artworks. I still find them difficult to do, but I will learn to draw them one day. For now the background for this one is very simple. Diamond patterns, random paint splotches, and voila, a background. I learned how to make SFX in CSP, and it really helped out when making this drawing less boring. And that's all there is to these speed draws. I hope you all enjoy the progress of these drawings and my ramblings. So, what do you think of little old Richard? Is he cute? He must be. Though, it's just as I said during the art time-lapse, his design still needs major improvements. There are things that don't look right. Nonetheless, the new design isn't bad, just needs minor improvements. I'm going to continue to learn more in designing characters, so you will be seeing lots of videos about redesigns and more. Until then, making these redesign videos helps me a lot in my journey to learn to make better character designs. Hope you guys enjoy the video. See you guys in the next video.